You've probably been told before that running a business and starting a movement is not a one-man show. You need a community behind you. You need support behind you. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a successful, thriving business community that'll help you further your mission, further your movement, and change the world for the better. Vulnerability moment. I totally used to think when I started in the business world, I totally thought that I was going to be an overnight success. I started my businesses without telling any of my friends because I thought that would be annoying. I didn't want to tell any of my family members because I didn't know if they would support me in my crazy idea. I didn't tell my partners because I didn't want them to think that I was focusing more on a business and not enough on them. I was building my business in silence, in isolation, and not the kind of isolation we've been seeing recently. I told no one. But remember, I was going to be an overnight success. I had this idea that I was going to host a surprise party for all of my friends and family and announce to them that I had just made $1 million. Quietly, without them knowing, because I'm that hard of a worker, because it's all about work ethic. That's what makes the difference in business, right? It's those who work hardest, those who hustle hardest, they're going to have the biggest success. Yeah, that's not true. It's not true. It doesn't work that way. When I finally realized that I was wrong when I was thinking that, when I finally realized that it's about having a community of people around you, that's when everything changed for me. And I'm going to share with you that journey and a little bit more in this video, so definitely stay tuned. I'm going to share with you the #1 thing you need to be doing to your clients. I'm also going to be showing you who you should actually be pouring your energy into. And finally, I'll teach you why reaching for the stars is actually good advice. In the world of visibility hacking, because of my experience of trying to grow a business in isolation and realizing I was completely wrong, we've designed a model that helps us remember who we should be talking to, who our people are, and where they fit in the giant picture of our business and our movement. So we think about it as a tree, and a tree has roots at the bottom, a trunk in the middle, and big branches on top. So first, we're going to talk about your people, your community, your clients, your customers, your lurkers, the people who are interested in what you're doing, who are on board to watch you succeed. Those are the people that are the roots of our tree. It's not a hierarchy situation. If you think about trees, our root systems in trees help the trees grow taller, grow stronger. If you have a tree that has a very shallow, very narrow root set, it's either going to fall over or it's just going to die. And that's kind of what was happening in my businesses when I was starting, because I wasn't expanding that community. I wasn't asking for help from anyone. I was trying to build a business that nobody knew about. And somehow I expected that customers would know about it even when I didn't talk about it. It doesn't work that way. So at the bottom of our tree, in our root system, is what we call our community. These are our people that pay for us. These are the people who are in our Facebook groups. These are the people who watch our live streams. These are the people who are on our challenges and in our groups, etc., etc. We want to make sure that we are nurturing that level of our community, just like we would nurture the root system of a tree. Every so often, you have to pour some fertilizer on it, and that's the same with your group. What are you doing to really serve that aspect of your business? What are you doing to really recognize the accomplishments and the sacrifices of the members of your community? You can do this in a whole bunch of ways, from as simple as a Facebook post celebrating a win from the people in your community, all the way up to giving prizes. And I have a client who gives out prizes for her people accomplishing and reaching $100,000 in $100,000 in sales. And she'll give out this trophy and she'll host this big event and she'll celebrate them all. And she does this simply as a way of nurturing her community. I have another client that as she builds her courses, and I've started doing this too because she's brilliant, as she started building her courses, she's incorporated a lot more like little badges and little challenges so that as her people start applying what they're learning in her course, they can start attaining and achieving little badges as well. This keeps them feeding them and patting them on the head for their great success as well. And I say that with love and respect. I think that's great. So having a recognition of who your people are and how important they are to the foundation of your business is absolutely essential. So don't forget to nurture your root system, nurture your community. Talking about community, I want you guys to be part of our community here on the Visibility Hackers channel. So definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, share this video or any of the videos on our channel with people who are building their businesses, building their movements, and helping grow the world in a bigger and better way. So hit that subscribe button, join us for the journey. I would love to see what you do with what you learn here. The second phase or the second area of your business that you also need to be focusing on when you're building that business community is the trunk of your tree. And this is what we refer to as our tribe. These are the other business owners that are in our niche. Again, let's think about a forest. If we look around a forest, we can see that there's multiple trees. It's not just one, right? It's multiple trees. If we look out in a field where there's only one tree, the atmosphere and the ecosystem around it are going to be very different than that forest. In that forest, when you have this collection of trees who are all supporting their communities, they're all reaching for that next step, they create a different ecosystem. They shelter each other from certain things. They support each other when the wind and difficulties come their way. But most importantly, they create space for something bigger and better. When we have all of these tribes together, we start to bring animals into our community. We start to bring new people, new ideas. And what this looks like in business is creating like joint venture partnerships, having opportunities for your tribe and my tribe to get together and do something bigger and better. This can look like doing podcasts together or having a show together. This can look like doing joint venture trainings in each other's groups and sharing revenue for a product. This can be developing an entire product or an entire offer together, putting together your different skills. It can be tapping into each other's networks in that case. What we're doing is we're looking for other businesses that are tangentially connected to our people. Great example. I've just been working with a fantastic group of entrepreneurs who are gym owners. So they're looking to create these deeper networks of local businesses. So with the example of a gym owner as your business, who would other tribes in that vicinity be? Easy. We have our chiropractors, we have our dietitians, we have our phys ed coaches and our phys ed teachers. We have the local football coach. We have the mom who loves to jog every day and brings her kids and her community along for the ride. We have the local organization that's based on children's fitness and physical literacy. We have the local doctor who's on a mission to promote better health. We have a whole slew of different business owners that are connected and also serve our same client. They might not be directly connected to our business, right? It may be a health professional and we're a gym owner, but our client is going to be served by both of those businesses. So we want to make sure that when we're thinking about our business community, we're thinking not just about the people who pay for our programs, but we're also thinking about how can we serve our people with better and more information from other professionals in the industry. Question for you guys. I want to know, talking about our communities and our tribes, how have your communities and your tribes helped you level up? Were you like me, thinking you can build a business in complete isolation? Or did you find yourself a group of people who support your idea and help you push it forward? Let me know in the comments. Let's celebrate those amazing tribes, those amazing communities that we have built out there. Drop them down in the comment section. I want to see, because I want to celebrate with you guys. All right, but what about the top of our tree? Let's talk about that. This is what we call the league. In visibility hacking, our league is the branches of our tree. Trees have branches with all the leaves so that they can reach towards the sun and gather more and more energy. They turn sun energy into tree energy. Break it down nice and simple. So they do this by reaching closer and closer and closer to the sun. Clearly, they're not going to grow long enough that they can actually reach the sun, but it's that constant attempt. It's that constant striving to be closer and closer to those big goals. And what this looks like in your business and in your business community is that you are constantly reaching for those joint venture partners, for those guests on your podcast who are just out of reach. It's when we stop reaching for those next levels, for those people who are just out of reach, that we stop growing our businesses. So if you think of your business as a tree and you chop off all of the branches because you're like, that's not aesthetically pleasing, or that takes too much energy, or I'm too shy to do that, your business is going to fail. That's why I stayed in complete isolation, because I thought, oh yeah, I don't need to tell anyone about my business. I don't need to reach for anything. I'm not good enough yet. But when I'm an overnight success, then I will be able to do all of that stuff. It's not how it works, my friends. You have to constantly be striving. And I've told this story many times before. The wonderful Marley Jacks, I totally look up to her as a business owner in the digital space. She does video. I do a different kind of video. I think she's great. She's Canadian. I'm Canadian. We both like to get our nails done. And yes. Okay. So I, last year, when I was still building in isolation, thought I'd reach out to Marley. I'll try and be brave. I'll see what happens. And if it doesn't work, then I'll go back to being quiet and going back to being my overnight success in isolation. She responded. And since then, I have been able to slowly build up a better and better working relationship with her. She has now gone from being just out of reach to someone that I can message and I can ask for advice and I can bring her onto my shows and we can have that type of relationship. And it's only because I have actively acted upon that desire to change that relationship. I have actively grown the limbs on my tree so that she's no longer just out of reach. She is now coming in to be part of our tribe. She is now coming in to be part of the ecosystem, my business community. And that's what you need to do. If you are the leader of a movement, if you are the head of a business that is actually going to change the world for the better, you need to be brave enough to reach out to those people who are just out of reach. Sell your crazy idea to them. Tell them, you don't actually have to sell it so that they own the rights and then you can't sell it anymore. No. What I mean is like convince them that your message and your movement are what's actually going to change the world, that it's a worthy cause to get on board. It's something that will serve their audience just as much as it serves yours. Create those opportunities for partnership, create those opportunities to come together, to share, and ultimately to move the ball forward for both of your movements. I know that's a lot to handle. I know that's a lot to think about, but what I want you to do is come back to the visual. I want you to think about a tree. We have our root system. Ask yourself, are you nurturing your root system? Are you pouring into your people? The next thing I want you to think about is your trunk. How are you serving your other entrepreneurs and the other business owners in your tribe? Are you actively trying to expand that tribe? Are you looking for recommendations and connections? Are you looking for ways that you are complementary to the services and products that they offer? And then finally, think about where your branches are. Are they all leaning in one direction, or are they spaced out and kind of going in all directions, reaching for the most number of people to bring into your movement, to serve great value to your people? And are you reaching for the people who are just out of reach? Do you have a plan to bring them into your world so that they are no longer strangers, but they then become friends and they then become avid members of your community as well? I know that's a lot to handle, but I know you can do it. And I have a tool that will help you do it a lot faster. Join us. Click the links down below for the Visibility Secrets training. In there is a whole vault full of different videos that'll go over the strategies and tactics we use in the visibility hacking movement to level up your income, your authority, and your influence online. And if you want to know more about that, the cool thing is the vault is absolutely free. I put it together just for you guys. So check the links down below. I'd love to see what you guys do with this stuff.